All right, it's raining today here in Southern California. It's awesome. Hasn't happened in quite a while. Today it's all about propagation. Let's take a little walk out here and see what's going on. Yay, a little bit of rain. Anyways, today we're going to just talk about different propagations of fig trees. These are all my maple trees that I've been working on and propagating. You can see there's still air layers going on here. They're just a couple of months old. And many cuttings that have been rooted over the years, and a lot of projects that are all dormant. Same thing, propagation of yucca trees. Cut them off, grow some roots, stick them in the ground. I'm also propagating loquat and plumeria, even though it is the tail end of the plumeria season. My figs are out here in pots. It's not going to get cold enough in Southern California to really give it a problem, so they're going to see how these grow through the winter. But today we're going to just be in the shop, and I'm going to show you exactly the different methods I use for propagation. So if this is something you're interested in, let's get started. All right, I'm climate 10B was my growing zone. I thought it was 9B, but it is 10B. So just since it's going to be raining, get a little bit cold here at the 2nd of December, I've decided to set up a little area here with a grow light and some reflective walls. And this is where these will all propagate for the winter. These are all figs. This is the time of year that I'm switching over to figs. I want to show you here. This skinny little one is doing good. This one's got little buds popping up everywhere. So what I do is I propagate here in 1 gallons for outdoor use. And you can see I always give them some kind of name and a date where they went into the dirt. So as you can see, this one has been exactly 1 month. And this is a little cutting that I took from down the street, growing out of the front of some guy's house, 2 doors down. And you can see it's sprouting nicely. Here we got 11-15, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the different ways, people, I don't have one laying around. So on the ends here, like you can see, this one's starting to root nicely. All that I've done on this is just taken a little bit of a cut and really nothing else, okay? This one here, let's see if I can grab it a better way. This one here hasn't rooted yet, just starting its very first little nubs there, but it's already, the buds have already popped open. You can see it's getting ready to leaf. And this one was just really trashed, the tip of it. I don't know if you guys are able to see a good look at that, but yeah, that tip of that was really trashed. So I just set it here in water just to see what it'll do. And as you can see, I have a lot of good luck with just sitting them in the water. You can see that. I guess I could have cleaned the water today. We'll come back to this one. And here, you can see how the ones that I've scraped up with a knife and hashed up on the nodes, you can see how they're rotting just from sitting in the water. The other ones that I have not scraped up are doing fine, but still really no roots. There is one in there, it's got some white speckles on it and it looks like it's getting ready to root. And then for tiny little ones, look at these, have been in since 11-15, and these are real skinny and they're starting to show some signs of rooting. Okay, so the way I'm gonna do these for the indoors, these are gonna be in solo cups, little perlite at the bottom to keep the bugs from coming in. I've got some that's going to be, oh yeah, and then it's going to have garden soil. Then there is some of the cups are filled with just vermiculite and perlite mixture. And they have the X caps, so I can just push them through when I'm ready to go. Here's the covers here. And these are the ones I'm going to be sticking these today. These are from a mother plant that I just talked about at the beginning of this video. And we're going to watch how these these grow. I've also tried just in a bottle with no air and water, and it had some rooting hormones on these, and I've just kind of just set this one aside and I'm just like forgetting about it. Another one I've had pretty good luck with is here. I forgot to label this one, but I know what the cut is. And you can see inside here that the buds are just starting to peek out just a little bit. Another one that's really doing good too is this one. I forgot again to put a date on it. That's why I try and write the dates on. But this is completely sealed in vermiculite. I taped a bottle on top of it. And this one has actually got a couple of white spots there, and then down inside here you can see there's more. So I imagine there's going to be some roots coming up on this one pretty soon, but I think this is about 2 weeks in there. I do see a little bit of, you know, mold growing on that part of the cutting, so maybe I might pop a little hole in it and give it a little air. But this one's doing really good, and this one's 2 weeks in there. And these are a couple of little maple trees. And then there's also the bag method. Okay, so I'm going to try and do some of the bigger ones. I've wet the soil just a little bit, and I've sealed them in here. Of course, you have to mark what you think they're going to be. And so I'm taking some of these obscure ones, and I'm going to root these in plastic bags. Here's another one. And everything's going to sit in here. You can see some more that are in water bottles that are rooting there. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You know, you don't have too many difficulties. Every attempt so far has been pretty good. Like I have a little bit of mold going on in there, but that's not that big a deal. But there's just small branches in there. Here, these are living, stop the water. These are living spices you could buy at the grocery store. And they have just some soil in there and the spice growing. So I've taken all the extra ones of these. And this one's only been in for a couple of days. And I'm hoping that we're gonna get enough air circulation and enough water in there to keep these guys growing. All right, so that's it for right this second. I'm gonna get things a little organized and we're gonna get some stuff stuck. Oh, first let's take a look in this box here. There's some panache cuttings. You can see that's a pretty tiger stripe right there. I'm gonna try and put these aside for the whole season in the refrigerator maybe and see how long they live. Oh, I forgot about this guy here. For some reason, I haven't been labeling them when I put them into these kind of setups, but I'm gonna have to go back to these. Okay, here's the apparatus I use, plain and simple, to do my cups. I poke a couple holes in the bottom, and then this, just around the edge, I just put holes all the way around it. There's a little bit of a lip there, maybe you'd see, but you get the picture. I'm gonna put holes all the way around this. Nice and easy. What you want to do is be able to get good enough drainage without losing too much of its moisture. And so what I'm going to do on these is this one has already been moistened, so that can just get a lid on it. And this one I'm just putting in a bowl of water, and I'm going to just give it a little bit in here and let it suck up what it needs to suck up. Put a cover on it. And this experiment is called Ross Boa. And today is 12/2/22. Okay, I'm calling it Ross Boa because it's the cross streets where I found this wild mother plant growing. And then nice and simple, I always push my finger through here first to make sure it opens enough, and then I slide it down just before it gets to the vermiculite that's at the bottom. And I'm leaving it in here so it sucks up the water. And then I could also take, now that this is opened a little bit with my finger, I could always add water to these by just giving a little bit of squirt inside here, which I do. And then these will get put in here. As you can see, I've got 3 more that have been sitting here overnight, soaking up whatever water they need. I'm going to put these are metal trays in here. And I put very little water in here, and I have a heat bulb underneath there, giving it heat underneath the pans. These are stainless steel pans. And so it's keeping it pretty warm. It's keeping the water that's in there is like 66 degrees, which is pretty good because it's 54 degrees outside right now. And it's going to tend to dry out the water in those metal pans. And so then all I do is I come through here with hot water in a little water bottle, and I just add water to the bottom of the pans, and it'll suck up warm water into the soil mixture that are inside these cups. So I imagine these are going to take a few weeks to root. Most of these are wild cuttings that I'm experimenting with just from a couple of neighborhoods around my area where I find a mother tree and I find some offspring shoots growing someplace, and I'm propagating them and trying to see what kind of figs they are. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. This one's vermiculite, and this one's ready to go as well. I'm just going to push it through and label it again. That's just going to go sit in here for the rest of the season. Still can fit a couple more. Okay, the rest of them, they're going to go into individual pots, kind of like here. And on the ends, I've cut it kind of about a 45-degree angle. Then I've taken my knife and I just put a couple scrapes in it this way, so it'll kind of absorb more. I normally have something to pop a hole in here with. So these will be put into the 1 gallons, and they'll be put out in the growing field that I showed you before. So we have a few ways of doing it. These are going to be outside California in whatever weather it's going to come up for the next couple of weeks. So these will be outside like these were. I just brought these in for the video. So those will propagate outside in normal California weather. And then the rest of these will be in a controlled environment inside here where I'm going to keep this shielded and keep bottom heat on it. So the tops will be cold, the bottoms will be warm. And then I've got a few other ones that are just propagating in jars. Oh, so the one final way is this is just a regular plastic bag. I've got my potting mix in it. You can see that, right? My potting mix in it. And this is one of the ones that I found that it get hit by cars as they drive by. And I've noticed on some of these other ones, like I showed you that one that's pretty beat up, that seemed to be rooting the fastest. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and do it in a bag here as well. Right, I put in there, then I tie this off just with a green tie strap, a green twist tie. And then I'm going to put a couple holes in this bottom as well, because they're going to be sitting in a tray with just a little bit of water, just so they could suck up some of that and keep themselves moist. And those will be hidden back in the corner there. And I'm going to ignore those for quite a few weeks. On these, what I've done is I've written a note on the stem, Ross Boa 1. And like I said, those are hidden back there. So that's it on that one. So let's recap. We have them in solo cups, growing indoors. We have them in water, rooting. We have them in soil in the rain. And then we have them in poly bags. So let's see what happens on these. All right, that's it for now. GEARHEAD Gardener, propagating figs my way. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Come along with me on this adventure as I work on trees, start my own fig orchard, and work on cars in my retirement. Thanks for watching Filet TV.